I went through that journey, and when I got to my 20s, I'd had probably maybe 50 autistic special interests by that point, where I just kind of deep dove into something and just let it consume me. And I asked myself kind of an interesting question because I read Carl Sagan's the Dragons of Eden. If you've never read it, I'd really recommend it. He really, I guess, to give a synopsis, he talks about, if we go off of the premise that an evolutionary model brought rose to gave rise to human consciousness, that what kinds of interesting things might we be able to say about human consciousness then, if an evolutionary paradigm is responsible? What neurophysiological differences are there? What differences in cognition? Because our experience on that, the clock of the universe as human beings is just in those last few minutes on the
We're a
on the
speck.
clock. A speck on a speck on a speck, tiny tiny blue dot. And so what might effects might that have on things like bias? What effects might it have on our psychology, on our way to recognize the humanness of other people, on empathy, and I found that fascinating. And so, I'd gone so much of my life not understanding other people, and I thought maybe that was the bridge that might do it, that maybe I could synthesize with the way that I think a
Yeah. Well, that's a
fundamental
rabbit
understanding
hole
of the
with a
world.
lot of burrows.
Yeah, yeah. And but when I did that, I made the normal missteps that people do when they're neurodivergent. I tried masking. I tried just emulating the behavior of other people, but with context blindness. And
Hmm.
I realized what a lot of people do when they go through that process, that you feel a sense of imposter syndrome in your relationships because you're emulating that behavior, but it's not native to you. And so when
Yeah,
you
you're never really fully authentic. There's always a part of you you feel like you're withholding, and it feels
false, right? And
it hurts.